The baby. Yes. Hey.
Hey. Hey. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? It's been a minute. I wanted to take a little break so I could work on some art, take a break from, trying to make content. So unfortunately, the break lasted longer than expected. I had a passing in my family that was very unexpected, very tragic, and it kind of just threw me off completely. And so I just needed a little bit more time to get myself together, grieve a little bit, and just try to process in these last few months. So yeah, my break ended up being a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it's okay. We're here. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's great. Everything's great. So yeah, however, hello, I am back. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds Untitled Universe, DW for short. And let me kind of explain what we're getting into today. So we're gonna do a little painting diaries today. The clips of the painting that you're gonna see is from years ago. I started it years ago, and you may have seen it in my vlog from last year, my little art vlog, and I just finished a little bit, but I never got around to actually showing more of the process and how it started. I feel like this piece is kind of making itself known and relating to the things of my life right now, which I think that's always really cool when you can create something and you might not understand the full vision or the full meaning of how it relates to you and what you're feeling until the moment kind of arrives, maybe months or years later, and you're like, oh, I see. I look pretty hip right now, but for whatever reason, I was in such a frazzled state earlier recording, and I did not give a leadway into the video. So without further ado, let's get into the painting portion. Hey y'all, okay, so we're just gonna chat it up a little bit. It's so funny looking back at this year and just seeing how unsure I was of my starting process. I was not confident at all. I felt like everything needed to be kind of I don't know, tight, if that makes sense. And yeah, but I had just started painting in the year of 2022, so it's just oh, I look hip right there. Ooh. Anyway, I had just started painting in the year of 2022, and it's just kind of fun to see how my starting process has changed over time, and I feel like I've gotten a lot more confident in my abilities. As you can probably tell, it's been through a lot of changes. I wanted to start off with this very dark, toxic vibe, and it just wasn't vibing. It just wasn't working. And I really thought that I could go in without a reference or minimal references for this face, and it just, nothing was working out. And it's so different to see how kind of my painting technique is very tight. I think I was really doing my best in this time to push myself to, I don't know, I felt like I was on a road to try to become this super realistic artist in the beginning, and that wasn't my calling. I love painting a lot more loosely now, and it's just kind of funny to see how everything changed at the time. Now moving on to 2023, at this point I was really doing my best on the canvas itself to work through it, and I did what I do best, went on Procreate and just tried to experiment and just make this work in the way that I wanted to, and I finally got a solid idea, And yeah, I guess this is a good shot. Yeah. I don't think I've actually worked on this for about a couple weeks now. So I want to kind of like plumpen up her lips a little bit and then start kind of getting her body together. I know no technical artist term, so. Now I remember at this point in this year, I was just kind of working through a lot of things. I think I was working through a lot of transitions just in my own personal life, and it was just really hard to keep up with staying inspired, staying motivated to work on any painting, let alone this one. And it's just so funny how, like, I don't know, it resonated with me then, but now it just looks like I don't know. Like, at first I was going with this like really peaceful, holy-ish vibe, and you know, that's kind of translated into just having faith, trusting in my guides, and you know, really going for the gusto of life and letting go and trusting and understanding that, you know, I am protected, I am guided, and I really have to trust in myself and trust in this process that I am going through. Because right now I'm in a space where I just feel very frustrated and angry and constantly tired of fighting through the feelings of being discouraged and feeling confused and just frustrated on this path that I'm on, because it really does feel like I'm going in blind and I'm really just being led. And it's really difficult, and it's a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration and exhaustion trying to not give into this feeling of wanting to give up. And it's just, right now it's just a very transitional time for me, but you know, it builds character and that's what it is. And I just really like the look of this because it makes me feel like I am guided, I am supported, and I'm at peace with that. I think I started this piece back in 2022 and it went through a lot of changes. I think I might say that in the voiceover, but this one went through so many changes until it got to where it is right now, because she's giving fairy, okay, and at first she was giving like this toxic, like dark angel type vibes, and I just don't like pieces like that for myself. Like, anytime I try to paint anything with a darker vibe, it's like I can't push past a certain point. And so I'm like, I just like painting pretty pictures. Like, I like painting pretty pictures depicting mainly Black women as like these ethereal beings, and we're just gonna stick with that. Like, right now I'm really discovering what inspires me the most, and it's just, that's my voice, that's what I would like to represent through my art. Yeah, it's one of my favorites, even though like I feel like I was very limited in what I allowed myself to do at the time, and what I could do at the time, just starting out. But it's still one of my favorites. I still love her down. And I went through this like stage recently where I think I was just like going through like a bit of imposter syndrome, and I didn't realize how bad it was, and I wanted to like kind of change my style up a little bit, and just a lot of stuff that was probably really unnecessary. Oh my gosh, that was probably really unnecessary. And so every time that I had a vision of what I wanted to do in the future, I would apply it to the unfinished works on my wall that's been there for like years that I just haven't touched. And so I was like really overwhelmed with myself in these processes, and how my brain was like kind of, it was playing me a little bit. So I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know. I just like, I feel like I'm making a conscious decision to paint what inspires me the most. So this piece is called Not by Sight. Basically, that's basically like, she's my spirit guide, essentially. Like, that's, to me, that's what my guide looks like, you know? And it's basically about having to really rely on God, rely on my spiritual team, relying on my ancestors, my guides, to like really pull me through the hard time in this transition that I feel like I'm going through. And right now I just feel like I'm just like low-key lost. I'm not getting any answers. I'm like in the need for clarity and a direct path, a clear path. I'm in need of a couple breakthroughs, you know, and it just feels like it's not happening. And low-key, I'm in a space where it's getting very hard for me to try to push through. I'm really in a space of like wanting to give up, and I'm trying not to operate out of that space, but it's, you know, it's getting pretty hard. It's getting pretty tough. And I feel like the journey that I've been on specifically this year has not been for the weak, and it's really a test of my faith, and a test of my faith in myself, and a test of my faith in God. And I low-key feel like I'm losing my marbles. My favorite saying right now is, I can't control the weather, meaning I cannot control all the aspects and outcomes, and I need to like kind of release those into the atmosphere and just let go and keep moving forward the best way that I can. And that's kind of just like the depiction of that. But yeah, that's basically like where I'm at in life. And I feel like for whatever reason, just the theme of this piece resonates with me deeply. And yes, I just want to show a little bit of the process, a little bit of where I've been at, where I'm at. I feel like I'm just in this really ugly transitional stage of my life, and it's low-key, not even low-key, high-key. It's very hard for me right now. So yeah, and happy Juneteenth.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
This is not being put out on Juneteenth. However, today is Juneteenth, the day that I'm recording. So happy Juneteenth, okay? Happy Pride Month.
Happy gay month, because you know you gay and stuff. Who you are for your pride.
I'm a little late, but you know. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Like I said, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye. Alright, there we go. It wasn't recording earlier. Damn it. Oh my goodness. You had me. I'm having technical